Everyone, nice to see you. Today, our group will discuss the topic of gender equality. Our group members are Ree, Darren, and Hogan. I'm Hogan. I will talk about the background of gender equality. In modern times, gender equality is valued by all sides. Despite the development of human society in the 21st century, gender inequality between men and women is still an important problem of social in- inequality. This is particularly true in developing countries and regions. According to the largest global gender gap report in 2015, for example, by all measures, it is still men who are taking up more economic opportunities. Women are being paid that men were earning a decade ago. On top of that, for example, there was a report in the UK promoting gender equality in UK history, which highlighted how much work remained to be done, revealing persistent structural barriers to equality and worrying high levels of workplace discrimination. Women are still disadvantaged in the proportion of officials and staff. People are now in pursuit of gender equality, but the problem of gender inequality has a long history. In earlier human history, women are basically the leaders of various tribes in uh, the matriarchal society. If we had gone to that time, we would have shouted, "Equality between men and women, the pursuit of male power." Later, due to the development of productivity, men occupied more production resource, could have more output, and held the economic power, which was the transition to a patriarchal society. For the next 1,000 years or so, although there were often outstanding women active in history, in power, and in politics, it was still largely a patriarchal society. It was not until after the Industrial Revolution that women could participate in production on a large scale and have corresponding economic rights that the feminist movement emerged. Now we can see that the gender equality has been achieved in law, personality, and even in the society. There is, mm, there is, however, the occasional register of sexism. Well, next, we will talk about the current trend of gender equality, and Darren will talk about the solution.
Thank you, Hogan. My name is Reed. Today I'm going to talk about the current trend of gender equality. Firstly, I would like to display gender equality in recruitment. Because of the difference in personalities and physical strength between the men and women, there are more or less gender-based jobs in today's society. For example, services such as nurses and secretaries should be women's jobs, while engineering jobs tend to consider men more than women, which is also known as gender segregation. This situation has led to disproportionate quantity of men and women in recruitment. This photo shows the employment rate of women in all professions in Australia. It can be seen that gender segregation is still existing in Australia, and companies are more likely to hire men. Turn to the equality between the men and women in promotion. In the 1980s, some researchers presented the theory of glass ceiling. The theories point out that there is a glass ceiling between a woman and her job choice and promotion. Difference in physical strength and other expand company very worried about ability of women, which makes it less possible for women to get promotion. According to the some research, the percentage of women managers is only 30%, and it could more spend more time. Yeah, sorry, it could spend more time to get promoted. The finally is training. Because equality between men and women in training is very important aspect because this leaders women's slower promotion. Um, Many companies tend to invest more in training male because many companies think that training men can bring more benefits than women. So they believe that training women is the no value. And there are three reasons. The first reason is social culture. In the general social environment, it is generally believed that the women's jobs should be low demand, middle paid, and stable position. The second reason is physiology. This includes difference in physical strength and endurance between men and women. It also difference in psychology, difference in fertility, difference in labor costs. The last one reason is about the laws. A perfect supervised system may lead to a lack of companies because it affects the concept at the decision making level. Thank you. And then David will continue to the solution about the gender equality.
Hello everyone, I'm Darren. Thanks for this presentation. According to risk analysis, I will show you guys some recommended solutions. The first solution is about the universality. Company leaders should promote the universality of gender equality among the employees so the employees can understand the positive impact of gender equality. Frasil, Machika, and Mura argue that there is a direct link between the gender and egalitarian values. It makes the companies to be more consistent. The development process of modern culture has directly affected the change of gender values, which means that gender equality is an inevitable problem in the development process of company. And the company managers should probably deal with the decision making about the gender in work. The second point is about the recruitment. The company should take into the account the work advantages of different genders when recruiting employees. The PTI claimed that having leaders of different genders gives the company different levels, such as leverage, volatility, and survival. This means that the leaders of different genders will affect the attributes of the company. So the company should take their own attributes into consideration when recruiting. In addition, Wilton et al. Argue that the working atmosphere will be more inclusive after the company has solved the problem of gender diversity, which means that the cooperation between the male and female in work can bring a more harmonious working state to the company. The last solution is about the gender equality while training job skills. The companies should not treat companies should not treat employees differently according to their gender when training their professional skills, but determine their position according to their working ability. The personal ability of employees is the only standard to determine the position, and gender cannot be used as to make sure to distinguish the level of work. Yeah, this is our presentation. Thank you for listening.